Welcome to the Site Cabin Podcast, episode 3. Episode 3.
What has happened to our world?
It's gone well.
What has been going on?
I know.
Seriously, what's been going on? I mean, we've had, so obviously this is episode 3. I mean, it's just been last 4 weeks. Episode 2 came out and we were advised to go onto TikTok, basically, weren't we?
We were, yeah.
So we went onto TikTok and, oh my God, it's just gone absolutely crazy.
Danny said my alarm clock's already set, and then we had to explain what it was to him.
Do you know what TikTok is, Danny?
Yeah, I've joined it.
You've actually joined TikTok,
Yeah.
so you've managed to download an app.
I've gone on it, downloaded it, and joined it. But I don't know how to get on our page.
Basically, you've been scrolling through all the tits and ass videos.
A lot of young girls. But the best one I saw on TikTok. There is a lot of young women dancing on it.
Yeah.
But I'm married, so
Yeah, you're not interested.
Not
You're married.
interested.
Oh, absolutely.
But the most interesting one was this elder lady. She was cutting cheese, and it was a block of cheese, and she cut it, and then she took off what she needed, and then the end of the block of cheese, the end, the plastic film went over the top, and then resealed. And I was like,
I like it. Is that like a life hack?
Life hack.
I thought you were going to say like there was a load of mold on the end of it or something.
No, just life hack. And I've been finding a lot of these on TikTok.
So I was really surprised at how much construction content is on TikTok. It's like, oh my God, it's just unbelievable. The amount of videos of just people laying bricks or plumbers or scaffolders or paint and decorators just the phone in the corner just sat painting. You think, it's just painting.
It's quite satisfying to see it done properly, though, isn't it?
It is
like
actually,
when you drive past these buildings in Manchester and Liverpool, like you see these shoddy jobs on buildings, but then you see someone lay it perfectly.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. It's like really satisfying. So do you want to hear some numbers?
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Over 50,000 likes, 10,946 followers as of right now recording.
On TikTok, is that?
This is on TikTok, yeah. 1.6 million views, just over 1.6 million views. 2 patrons, so which by the way, I mean, is now £1 a month to join us on Patreon as a membership. So I'm going to keep plugging it because it's a way to sort of help us fund the podcast and sort of be part of the podcast. There's loads of things like you get, like you can like suggest us a specific question or a specific episode that you want us to talk about. You can only do that through Patreon. Other things we've had, we charted on Apple Podcasts. Do you know what position we were on?
No.
Number 98 in the UK.
It's not bad.
Not bad, is it? It's not
We've
bad.
got a few individual fans, haven't we, as well?
Yeah.
And we've got a few individual fans. So a few name checks we want to shout out to. Harry Gerling, Andrew Dunn, Connor Fell, Jordan Murray, William Halshaw. They all... there was loads of emails, but they were some of the special emails that the feedback from you guys was absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much for that. Jacob got a very interesting email off a lady called Beth Rhodes. I don't know if you want to tell us about the email, Jay. What
I've actually done some searching on how to get a restraining order out because I think I've got a fan. But yeah, Beth, if you want to go on a date, Nando's next week.
There we go, Beth. There we go, Beth. Beth, maybe
Get your club card thing up.
yeah, Nan tickets and Nando's, maybe.
So,
Beth emailed the show saying how much she liked the show, but in particular how much she liked Jacob.
Yeah.
And she found herself agreeing with everything that Jacob always says. And I don't know, maybe it's the start of a beautiful relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like some 70-year-old retired scaffolder.
I'm not saying no to that, by the way.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
Do you reckon it's real or not? Do you reckon it's like a fake?
I think it's real.
So are we going to say to Beth, please email back in?
Yeah.
I think Beth, if you would you please email back in? I think
that would definitely.
That would be great.
We could film the date. Maybe we could all come.
We could all come. We could get Beth on. Yeah.
You know?
Maybe she could take us all 3 of us out for a day. Some sort of weird. I don't know. We've gone down this road. Maybe we move on. I don't know.
Maybe
But yeah, what's next, Joan?
So we've also got our very first ever giveaway, which is the Site Cabin hoodie. Also doubles as a high-vis jacket top on site.
Great for
Is
site.
that legal? Is that would it work? Would it be
I
okay?
think so. Yeah. Good point. I think there's something about it being reflective. But I mean, come on, if you're a driver and you don't see someone wearing that, then you shouldn't really be a.
Depends what the
truck
site
driver.
manager says, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does depend what the site manager says. Danny's straight away going in at the site managers.
But you got private jobs where you're your own site manager.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly. And they're better. Yeah.
What you mean? Like when you just manage it yourself? You
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
the job yourself.
Yeah, instead of being told what to do.
Yeah, instead of being told what to do from.
From one of these guys.
No,
You what?
I am your site manager.
Yeah. Too right.
Why have you brought them, Danny? What's the?
It's just, these are we've been talking about having guests on, and I thought I'd bring 2 site managers with me.
There are representatives of site managers, aren't there, in like the sci-fi world,
Yeah.
basically.
If I was going to like link those to characters or like superheroes or anything, which we might do in the future, I don't know.
Who knows?
We might do.
do.
I would say a site manager is definitely Darth Vader.
Yeah, yeah. I think I would probably. So that means because he starts out bad.
Yeah,
Well, he starts out good, then he turns bad, and then he goes good again,
yeah.
and he comes back as a ghost as well. So
And he tries to kill his own kids.
and he tries to kill his own kids. Yeah.
I'm actually pals with your site manager, and he said he wants a conversation with you at some point.
I did see some of these comments.
We've had a lot of comments. We've had so many comments off site managers wanting to come on the show, wanting to be part of the show. And we're definitely having guests on the show, aren't we? We are definitely having
At some
guests.
point,
I think we're hoping from episode 4, potentially, to have a guest on the show.
Yeah.
Episode 4 or 5, we definitely having a guest on the show.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No.
Going back to the giveaway, how do people get the giveaway, Jacob? How do they get the hoodie?
For the Site Cabin Podcast hoodie, we've got a YouTube channel, which is the Site Cabin Construction Podcast.
Yes.
That's the main place to watch the podcast, but we're also on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, if you want to watch it on there.
Yeah.
But to win this hoodie, which Danny's sporting today,
Yeah. We did say we'd all be in black, didn't we? And
yeah.
once again,
get it
Danny's
wrong.
got it wrong again.
all you need to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel, put a comment in there. Dan's going to pick the best comment
Yes.
when his dial-up internet works.
Should we do it live on air? Should we pick the best comment live and on like
Definitely,
TikTok or
yeah,
something?
yeah.
We could go live on TikTok. Pick the
And we
best.
don't mind abusive comments.
Well, so we've had a fair few abusive comments.
Yeah.
I had a one of my favourite comments actually was, I think I'd asked on episode 1, what do you think my background is, and someone had said, I think he's a gay escort.
Yeah, brilliant.
So I don't do that anymore. No, I've never done that. But well, did you guys pick up on any good comments? Was any sort of interesting comments that you thought I like that?
I think a lot of the comments I saw were, the labourers clip. I was impressed with. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah,
and I'm so chuffed that a lot of people. It was predominantly positive for labourers because they do a bloody hard working job.
No, they do, and they are underappreciated on site.
Yeah, they are.
And there was thousands, and I do
Yeah.
mean thousands. I can actually say that,
Yeah.
thousands of comments where people was kind of. Plugging their own labourers and saying, well, actually, I've got an absolutely fantastic labourer who looks after me. There was a lot of also derogatory comments towards labourers as well, wasn't there?
Yeah.
The other clip that went absolutely huge was about CSCS cards as well. So we're definitely doing an episode just on CSCS cards because there's a lot of confusion about that, isn't there? About how do you get a CSCS card? How much does it actually cost? I know this is kind of old ground from episode 2, but it blew up that comment.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
But if you want that hoodie, subscribe on YouTube, put a comment on there. Dan's going to pick it. But if you're watching us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram even, get over to YouTube. You're down there. Through TikTok, particularly, we've got the link tree. Just click on that and you'll get through to us.
Yes, absolutely. Danny, what's the email without looking at the email? He's fucked it up again. He still doesn't know.
No, hold on. It is.
He's looking at something. He's reading
It
something.
is site cabin.
No. It's go on, Dan.
Is it? Oh, it's there. It's inquiries at the sitecabinpodcast.co.uk.
Yeah.
And we know it works because we had quite a few.
We've had a lot of emails, so we definitely
I don't even know how to get on that email address.
No, Danny, you can. So you've got TikTok, but you've still not got like.
When we're looking at numbers and stuff, I've registered myself, and one of the things I wanted to do was that donut app thing. In fact, if one of the comments could be, I'll tell you what. If you can win this hoodie, if you tell me how to get the donut app thing.
What's the donut app?
Where you
mean where you're feeding yourself and you go dead big and fat?
I've been going on TikTok.
That's like the easiest thing to do in the
find
world.
it. I have to ask my 14-year-old niece how to
my
find it.
3-year-old can do that.
Yeah, but do you know what? Winner.
No, we can't give it away just because you tell Danny how to get access to the donut, the donuts, sort of say
photo
thing. Yeah. No, we'll give it away on what sort of days.
But yeah, why have we come back for the third time? What we're
episode 3. Yeah. So we thought what we'd do today is basically sort of 6 months into site. So you're an apprentice, you're brand new, you're on site. 6 months in, what are you doing? What's happening?
I suppose it counts for any. You could be 16, you could be 26, you could be 36.
Absolutely. New job, not necessarily apprentice. New, because there's a lot, as we've already said, there's loads of adult learners, loads of people that come into construction from quitting the job. I know a guy that quit his job as a milkman to be in construction. I don't know if it worked out for him actually. I think he went back to being a milkman. Actually, in the end, I don't think he could deal with all the.
Get to drive the carts around.
Oh, I'd love to be able to. Yeah.
But yeah, what happened to you two at 6 months in?
I think. See, I did an apprenticeship, so it was like I knew my what was happening for the next sort of 3-4 years as such. But I think if you knew, it depends. Something you said last time was how if you've not even picked a trade. Or you have maybe picked a trade, or you've got an apprenticeship in a certain trade area. Like 6 months in, I think. Depends on your apprenticeship. 6 months in, I was allowed to use power tools.
Are you working on them actively though every day?
Yeah. So I wasn't allowed to touch a power tool up until 6 months in, and it's rightly so. You know, you can injure yourself pretty quickly. But 6 months in, you're a bit more comfortable. They're giving you a few more jobs to do if you're with a decent employer. That is. But you're starting to like learn more. You've gone through all the practical jokes. I think they're worn out.
Do you reckon they've like finished with you now?
You're old.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Now.
Yeah, you don't need your wheelbarrow license anymore, or your long stand, or your fucking bucket of steam, or whatever else it was. Yeah,
they want you to do the job now.
Yeah,
they're getting frustrated with you. They want you to be in the job. Giving you small projects to do yourself, maybe.
Yeah.
Not just mixing. By 6 months, you should be left
a little bit more responsibility.
Yeah, it should be definitely. Yeah.
So you're actively doing that trade that you're working towards.
Yeah.
You're not just like.
And if you're not
sweeping up all day,
that's your employer's fault.
Yeah.
Like you've got to show an interest, but if you're not really getting involved, there is an element that you think, right, well, after 6 months, if you're not actively interested, quit. Yeah. Right, and if not, then it's your employer's fault.
Try something else.
Yeah, and your employer should be really encouraging you at 6 months in, like to really sort of learn now.
It's weird what you just said though, because you said I knew what 3 to 4 years of my life would be, but you don't hear that in construction. You hear that for uni. People drop out of uni because I'm not doing that for 3 years. Yeah, I've never heard anyone in construction say.
I think it's because like when I started my apprenticeship, I wanted, like I knew at 15, 16 years old, I wanted to be a joiner. But I knew I actually was interested in it, and I actually wanted to carry on with it and see where it would go, and learn the skills and learn the physical skills and the mental skills.
There's so many things that can go wrong.
Yeah,
I don't mean like health and safety wise. I mean like if you're a joiner, right, and your employer, you've been working for 6 months, and they say to you, "I want you to hang that front door today."
Yeah,
and by the way, it's £700 that door.
Well, if
you fuck up on that door.
Oh,
you've cost him £700 or them £700 plus the day plus it's a major responsibility. I don't think people realize it's not just. It's going to sound awful, but it's not just like this monotonous job where you're like packing in a factory or whatever.
Yeah,
one mistake and
costly.
It's in plumbing, in other trades. I'm just trying to think of like if you're building a wall as a bricklayer, you fuck up down below, they get to the top. Like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? The whole wall's coming down.
Yeah.
The whole day's coming down. So you've got to be ready for that responsibility as well, haven't you, really?
I did it. I actually remember about 6 to 8 months in, they said to me, can you chop the hinges in on this door? We're going to hang it. We're just going to let you chop the hinges in. Oh, no. And they were 4-inch cast butts, and it was on a primary school.
Hang on, just explain what that means, 4-inch cast butts.
So 4-inch cast butt hinges. And they were like an old. You don't really use them as much now. I see them, but they were like they used them a lot in primary schools and
Right,
those
okay.
type of buildings,
Right.
Public buildings,
Yeah.
because they were cheap,
Right.
basically. And you had to chop them in, and they had about an 8 mil depth when you cut them in, and I remember chiseling them in, and yeah, I had these brand new marble chisels. They were fucking brilliant.
Maple chisels. Maple chisels, yeah.
And they were absolutely, dead sharp and
Yeah.
everything. Like, I was looking after them every day
Yeah.
and cleaning them up.
Oh,
And I basically chopped in double the amount. And the joiner I was working with was like,
Did he go mad at you?
No.
Did he give you a bollocking, or
He
was
gave
he
me
like...
a bit of a bollocking. He was like, we're going to have to get a complete new door.
Yeah.
So luckily, the company we work for, well, that wasn't really a problem. But and the door itself wasn't a major issue. Well, that was my first time being left on my own.
Things like hanging the door upside down is a common thing, isn't it?
Very common.
A lot of people
Yeah,
do that
yeah.
in joinery, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't just want to talk about joinery. We want to talk
No.
about, there's
All
loads
sorts,
of common
yeah.
mistakes that...
A brick, which does it frog up or frog down?
Well, it's frog up. It definitely is frog up.
But someone who might not know.
So for Jacob,
Yeah.
the frog is the indentation within the
Yeah.
brick. There's a big thing in construction is, do you put that brick frog up or frog down? It's 100% frog up. If anyone ever tells you it's frog down, they're fucking wrong. And I'll fight them in the studio. I'll fight them. No, well, I'm not really a fighting man, but it's definitely frog up.
Yeah.
It is a major bone of contention. I mean, you're probably sat there thinking, what the hell?
I'm thinking one of the things that I've seen go wrong, someone I know, I won't say his name obviously, but a guy he was like groundworking or engineer kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it was a result of this, but he were doing drugs, drinking, and he actually drilled through a gas pipe in the road.
Oh,
Brilliant.
80 grand's worth of damage.
oh my God.
What is that because of the drink and the drugs, or is it because of the...
Well, I mean, that can totally happen as an accident. The best tradespeople in the entire world make mistakes. The best, and if they're telling you they don't, they're lying.
I've got a good one for your mistakes. This is in my apprenticeship, but it wasn't me. It was the two joiners I was working with.
Go on.
We were working. I'm not going to say which council building, but it was a council building near to where we're filming this. Right.
Somewhere in the northwest.
Right. And it was the mayor's office.
Right.
And the mayor had it all refurbished, and we went in as joiners, and they'd had it all redone. It had cost thousands of pounds, and it was in quite a popular building in this area.
A central building.
Yeah.
And
it
does it have a clock on it, this building?
It had a clock on it.
Yeah, I think I know
So
what
it
you're
is a
talking
very lovely building
Yeah,
for the area,
yeah,
to be
yeah.
honest. So a lot of weddings happen there.
Yeah.
And
It's the town hall.
sound yeah, right.
It's the town hall.
Even
I don't know
though-
why we're being so like,
Yeah.
ooh, which building is it?
And
And if you want to see where it is, just Google where do Manchester City fans play.
and so it literally the last day he was moving in the next day. He was, it was all going to be this.
So
big
the mayor was
ceremony.
moving into his office.
And
Yeah.
cut the ribbon and all that sort of stuff. And it all been refurbished, and we were putting these oak shelves up. He specifically described he wanted these like traditional oak shelves in his office for all his stuff and things.
Yeah.
And the joiner who I was working with went right through, didn't check anything like the mains cables, but it wasn't just the mains cables for the room.
Electric.
Yeah,
power.
it was main for the entire building.
Oh
Don't
my God.
not checked anything, just stupidly not thought.
Drilled through or like chiseled through.
No, I mean drilled through, but drilled through
Oh,
massively.
shit.
And then it wasn't just that; he wasn't checked anything. He'd also put it in the complete wrong place what they'd asked for.
So not only had he knocked out the whole power to the town hall the day before the mayor's going to move in, he'd also put the shelf in the wrong place.
It was in the complete wrong. It was a different wrong wall.
Absolutely brilliant.
And
if you are listening, if that is you, comment.
Yeah, and then what also happened is it blew. So the equipment that they were using, it blew the equipment and basically smashed a massive hole, just went bang.
So like a big electric shock, basically.
Yeah, I mean this is years ago.
Yeah,
years ago. So and then the plaster wall and in the office, and they had to cancel the whole thing.
Oh my God, that's absolutely
The whole event
beautiful.
got cancelled.
But with stuff like that, if you're 6 months into your career or 26 years in, do you get treated the same if that goes?
Yeah, I think it's a good point. I mean, if you're 6 months in, you probably do get a little bit of a bollocking. I don't know. It's a difficult one. Like, how do you tell what's behind that wall or that wall or that wall? And there's equipment that you can buy now that helps you do that. Like if you're digging in the ground, there's equipment to scan below the ground. Yeah. But the amount of times seasoned ground workers will just dig through a pipe.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
or I've seen on site, this is a really common one on site. So, you know, like you've got scaffolding out on site and there might need to be a trench at the base of the job. They'll dig round the scaffold and they'll leave like a tower of earth supporting the scaffold. And you look at it thinking, that's going to fucking fall any minute now. That's going to go.
There's a particular thing I do like watching, and I don't know if we can. I'm going to say it.
Just say it and it will cut it.
Not my job. You know, it's on another
don't
social
quote,
media.
don't quote. Yeah, don't quote
Some
that.
social media
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
where the I mean, I love watching clips.
Common mistakes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or can't be asked, like, not my job, like, then they paint round it.
Yeah,
You know, and those type of things.
Fill in the hole with newspaper or something like that, you mean?
Yeah.
Like a job, just like
But fill in the hole with newspaper. The amount of jobs, like, I know we've worked on where you found newspapers from like the 1900s and stuff. Or
years
whatever
back.
it might, you know, 1920s, 1930s.
Yeah. The hunt for Jack the Ripper continues.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, fucking hell. Is that the last time someone looked at that hole or whatever
yeah.
it was, an air brick or something?
Yeah,
It's got all newspapers in it from 1890 something. Going back to what we were saying though about, you know, so you're youngest guy or a new person to being on site, you know, 6 months in, you're starting to maybe get a bit of responsibility, that type of thing. You may be using some power tools or whatever. You know, the lads have stopped maybe bantering you as much as maybe.
It's not daily.
It's not daily.
No, it's not daily. It's
getting-
more about the job now. So your jokes are more like,
Yeah, crack on now. Get on with it.
yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
From what I remember, I didn't work directly in construction at 16, 17, but I played for the football team full of lads who worked in construction. And you're on the beer, you're going out, you see this whole new world.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you don't you just crack on with it. And
You may be getting invited out to, you know, you've got new friends as well, haven't you, basically? New group of friends.
adult friends.
Adult
from
That are
childhood.
adult friends, you're
friends,
right. Yeah,
yeah.
they're probably older than you. Probably maybe offering you a few things as well.
Definitely. I've been offered all sorts. Like, took it as well.
We absolutely do not condone drugs in any way or whatever it is. But let's just be fucking honest.
Yeah.
It goes on. Jesus Christ.
Definitely, and I think it goes on. It does go on a lot.
On site, I mean, actually taking drugs on site during the day.
I don't think
Because
that.
I'm not gonna you know, I can remember working on jobs loads of times where we'd have a spliff in the van, you know, spliff at morning brew, and I think, how the fuck have I got through the day? Do you know what I mean?
And you have to look at.
And it wasn't right.
No, it's not right.
It's not right, but
No.
you know,
We've all done stupid things. I mean, I can honestly say that during the day,
I didn't inhale. By the way, just listen, who said it? Bill Clinton said it, or someone. Fucking Tony Blair said it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or somebody said it.
I
I
did
didn't
not
inhale.
have sexual relations.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Yeah. Yes, you did, Bill. You came all over her dress. And she kept it in a fucking fridge for 6 years or whatever it was. I mean, it's true, isn't it?
He definitely
It
did
is
it.
true.
He definitely had sex with her.
He's a liar.
Definitely.
He's proven he was nearly impeached, for fuck's sake. So we're not cutting that. That's staying in. That is staying in. Sorry, what was you saying then? I've totally lost track.
I know about like drugs and drink and things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there is a lot of.
I did not have sexual relations with that site manager.
Why do you sound like Trump when you're saying that? You sound like Donald.
Do I? It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Great.
And the site's going to be... No,
It's going to be great.
it's going to be great.
So good.
It's going to be great.
What
So good.
my point is, like, with drugs and stuff like that, imagine how much of the construction industry you'd have to sack if you tested them all.
Do you know what though? You know what? I'm really glad you said that, because you know, like if you're working in nursing or doctors or you get drug
Every
tested.
single industry in the entire world, including the Met Police, they don't drug test. The Met Police will not drug test.
Really?
And do you know why they don't drug test? Because half of them would be fucking kicked off.
Prison services.
Yeah, they don't drug test because they know it goes on. Every single industry in the entire world have people that work in that industry that take drugs.
Yeah.
And because you know, there might be a mum and dad watching this thinking, oh my God, little Johnny is starting his apprenticeship next week, and these three are saying he's going to be offered a big bag of coke or something or whatever.
Do you know what I was going to say? Actually,
And it's
if
not-
you're
that's-
talking about drugs in construction, I would say construction there are milder drugs, whereas in office-related jobs, I would say they take higher class drugs personally. From what I've
Wolf
seen.
of Wall Street.
Well,
for God's
exactly, that's
sake.
what I was thinking.
You know,
but I think a massive thing in construction is alcohol. Like
Yeah,
like
I know what you
huge,
mean.
and
It
it still is.
Yeah.
Like
Imagine
I think more
getting
than
the
anything-
lad, they go for a beer, don't they?
yeah,
Commonly all the
it's
time.
it's like even during the day. Like,
I know what you mean. At dinner time, you go for a pint.
Go for a beer.
Yeah.
But imagine getting paid 400 quid on a Friday as a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
You can spend it through to Monday. You can live till the next Friday, can't you? That's right.
You can.
Absolutely.
Another thing as well, while we're talking about drunk and is gambling. Like, on a Friday.
Jesus Christ. I'll tell you right now, I've seen lads, especially when the weekend work, if you do the weekend work and you get paid cash, and if you do a job on a Saturday, you often, not always, but you often get paid Saturday evening, the Saturday night. So you finish your job, there you go, there's your whatever, 50 quid, 100 quid, 200 quid, whatever it might be. Straight in the pub, straight in the fruit machine, bang, 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 bang. But it's back in the day. Yeah. And it's like, what's he doing? He's just put all his fucking money in the fruit machine. Or the roulette machine. That's a really common one, isn't it?
Yeah. It's in the bookies as well. You'll hear from a lad. So say there's 4 weeks in a month. You'll hear from a lad 1 week in the month, I'm 500 up. What about the 3 weeks?
Yeah, exactly. Well, they only tell you when they win. Yeah. You only ever get told when that person's won. You won't get told that actually he's put all his week's wages, in behind the roulette machine. And that's another thing that you've got to contend with when you come into these sort of industries is the frank. People talk very frank, don't they, to you?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Fucking hell, what's up with you? Just get on with it. Yeah. It leads on to a lot of other stuff that we're going to talk about in other podcasts about mental health and I know we've mentioned this previously, so I'm not going to bang on about it, but we are going to do an episode fully just on that, aren't we?
Definitely.
How to deal with it, maybe just our own experiences, insight and whatnot, and sort of how to deal with it.
But I suppose the best way to look at it is just if there's any doubt in your mind about anything, drugs, gambling, drinking, just say no. I'll think about it. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll try again.
Yeah, absolutely. Just say no. And you know what? You don't feel forced by anybody to just go with the crowd. Go be that, don't be a sheeple and just go along with it. Just because.
Tell them fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
Just say to him, don't care what age you are.
Yeah,
if you're an apprentice,
it's
nothing to do with your job.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
If you want to go home and watch a film, go home and watch a film. If you want to go on to the gym or anything, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Another thing I want to mention about new to construction on 6 months in, should you be doing a qualification? Should you be so if you are an electrician, should you be on an electrical qualification? If you are a painter, should you be doing an MVQ in painting? So on and so on and so on. Should you be doing that?
My personal thing is I think everyone should get to a certain level of English and maths before anything. Yeah. Level 2 English and maths, get there.
Yeah.
A lot of qualifications, correct me if I'm wrong,
anyway.
But a lot of them, you can get it at the end of a qualification that you do. So you can do a level 3. Yeah. And you don't have to get the English and maths until you finish, do you?
No, so you're right. You're absolutely right. With qualifications, it's either an apprenticeship if you're between 16 and sort of 24. Yeah. You can go to apprenticeship. You can also do an MVQ only where you're like an adult learner. So you don't do the college-based side. No functional skills.
Why aren't we teaching people how to speak and talk and communicate properly? Because that's where, if you look on jobs, construction, anything, where stuff falls down, people don't communicate properly.
Well, why isn't there in a construction qualification? Why isn't there a unit on how to compose a quote or an invoice? Because there isn't. It's a load of boring bullshit about
respond to a message on social media.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That is a modern qualification in construction. Yeah. What you've just said, Dan.
I'm really glad you said, one thing I've always wanted to do, and I'm sure we'll do an episode in the future, is a lot of people, if you don't just work on site, you work on going to domestic work. Nobody teaches you how to be business. Nobody teaches you.
Be your own business
I'm a joiner, I'm a bricklayer, I'm a plasterer, I'm a plumber, I'm an electrician, blah, 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 whatever trade you are, right? Nobody teaches you how to run a business. It should be fundamental, put in a qualification. It has to be put in.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Run a business. There are degrees, business degrees.
Yeah, so in other words,
it should be made.
How do you submit tax? What do you have to do to submit your books?
Not enough people know, but I've had problems myself, and I know I have. Yeah. And I've had issues with quotes and tax and all sorts of different. Nobody teaches you how to do it. They just teach you how to be a joiner. Yeah. But then you think you want to. You're a joiner. Oh, can you give us a quote to hang some doors?
How do I even write a quote? What do I put in it?
And people think, what, you're supposed to just know. No, you should be taught that really as part of your qualification.
Actually. It is a really good point. How to submit your books.
Yeah.
And that goes to the mental health, because if you're working 8 hours a day hanging doors, then you spend 4 hours a day
at night quoting and
that's so you got 12 hours working, 8 hours sleeping, 4 hours.
So here's one for you then. So I'm the customer, and I ask one of you two to come and give me a quote for a job. You come round to my house, right? I spend 3 or 4 hours talking to you, right? You give me the quote, and I don't like it. I say no. You've wasted 4 hours of your life with that customer, talking them through everything, giving them all of your advice, all of your knowledge for absolutely nothing. So should quotes be like added to the price of a job, or but then again it's like, you know, why do we quote for free? Imagine if you went to a solicitor and you said, "Can I just speak to you for 4 hours for fuck all?" He'd say, "Just fuck off, mate."
Well, it's funny you mentioned that.
on.
I'm currently going through a house sale, and I get charged for phone calls.
You mean like with your solicitor and stuff?
Yeah.
So you phone your solicitor up now and he charges you for the phone call?
I get charged for phone calls and emails.
Right. But if someone phones you up and says, "Danny, can you give me advice about this conservatory?"
Yeah.
It might be an hour's long chat.
Yeah.
You don't get anything for that.
I've stood there. I've drove there. So I've driven
Yeah.
with petrol, my time, and then stood there talking to them. And then I've given them a price. I might have won the job or might have not won the job. But I'm also, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
Why do
perspective.
we do that? Why do builders do that? Why is that? How have we allowed that to happen?
Why have we also allowed to not get paid immediately?
Oh, that's a really good point. I mean, that's a whole different ball game. As in, like,
A lot of other things you do.
we wanna
you
do
pay
it-
before you even the full price. Now, listen, I am fully aware that there are people who take money off people
Danny's
and don't
going on
turn
a
up.
serious.
And you bastards, all of you in construction. If you do that, you're a bastard.
What if you don't pay someone?
No. I mean, if someone
cowboys.
cowboy builders,
Yeah,
you
there's
turn up
fucking
and
loads
you don't honour the job. You should always honour the job as best you can. There's things that might happen.
What are some of the most viral videos on Facebook where some guy has gone to some other person's house and smashed up all the work he's done because whoever's not paid him?
But then
Whatever.
there is also another side to that where the customer has been ripped off.
Absolutely,
and that happens
absolutely,
a lot.
it happens.
And-
Yeah,
but-
I think that is a whole other episode.
Yeah.
But coming back to the episode that we've got now, though, with your
Teaching
payment,
them.
with your payment as well, you're 6 months in. Your boss comes up to you. Sorry, I can't pay you today. Can't pay you this week. It'll have to be at the end of the month. And you're supposed, do you get paid weekly in construction? Do you get paid monthly?
Yeah.
What happens?
Well, I know someone literally yesterday. I was talking to him, and he said he's been on holiday with his kids, bank holiday and Easter and stuff, and his labourer and kind of apprentice kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's been away. They've not been paid because the managers said
Kill 'em.
basically bullied him. Said, "I'm not paying you. You've not done this, and this."
Yeah.
Knowing full well the big dog's not been there
Yeah.
to stick up for him.
It's. I mean, I've got that happens so much. It happens so much.
For like 300 quid or something.
It happens
whatever
so
it is. It's
much.
stupid.
I once with my brother Mike, and Marshy, my mate Marshy, been mentioned before. We built this huge wall around this sort of encampment complex, and I didn't have a good feeling from day one. We worked for 2 weeks on the wall, and on the Friday we finished, we went to get pay, and the guy just said, "You're not fucking getting paid. Fuck off." And there was nothing wrong with the work, nothing wrong with the work whatsoever, but they were very intimidating characters, and there was absolutely nothing we could do. And I should have gone with my gut. And there was nothing I could do. I couldn't go back and knock the wall over at the night because it was so well built, and I'm not just being big-headed. It was like huge, it's a massive thing, and I should have just gone with my gut. But there was absolutely nothing I could do. I had to swallow it. There'd been no point going to a court or anything like that, because by the time you've gone through small claims, it's 1,500 quid minimum or something like that. I can't remember. It's just a waste of time. It's an absolute waste of time. It happens in construction all the time. Do you get paid weekly though in construction or monthly? You're 6 months in, you're getting paid weekly or monthly?
I've had both, actually. I've
Yeah.
had both. I think as an well, when I did my apprenticeship, it was weekly pay, but I think a lot now is monthly.
Yeah, I've been paid weekly a lot, and then it's gone to monthly as well. Yeah.
We've been through the tough times. I suppose there's good times. You
Oh
can
no,
do.
I mean,
Right.
there's absolutely brilliant times. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you 6 months in, you start to feel a bit more confident, and maybe you're starting to do the actual trade, and some family members or whatever will say, "Oh, could you give me a quote for, to paint my living room or whatever?" And you think, right, you know what, I can do that now. I can go and earn on a Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, you
I
can.
can go and earn a little bit of extra money.
Yeah.
And so you go and do that job, and it goes fantastically well. And before you know it, you're starting to make your own sort of business. I do think it's important though about being put on a qualification.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You know, you should be on a qualification. If you're not on a qualification, then you should be asking your employer, I want to be on a qualification.
How do you do that? What do you do? What kind of?
Well, I mean, like I said before, if they won't help you out, I mean, there's loads of like CITB grants that the employer can apply for to fund the qualification. Not fully, but they get well looked after.
With all this like government funding, there's like level 3.
There's loads. There's absolutely
level 2,
loads of funding out there. It just takes a little bit of time to go and search for it. But if they say no, if they won't give it you, do you know what? Go and find it yourself. And go and get signed up to a training provider and get the qualification yourself.
I think we could help, couldn't we? Just email us, get us. Obviously,
Absolutely.
Social media will point in the right
absolutely.
direction.
If you want a piece of advice, want a little bit of advice about,
we'll never make any money off this. We're just
this is
showing
just,
you where
this
to
is
go.
just help.
Yeah,
from our experience.
Absolutely, we've
definitely
full of experience on not just the trade, but also on qualifications. All three of us are, so we do know what we're talking about. I've already had arguments and disagreements with people on TikTok about how much a CSCS card is. It's £22.50 for a CSCS card, and it's £36 for the touchscreen test. I've said that completely wrong. It's £36 for the touchscreen test, £22.50 for the card.
Yeah.
Have I said it right the first time? I'm questioning myself.
I've got to renew mine.
You've got to renew yours?
Yeah.
We've got to film you live renewing yours.
Yeah.
Well, we wouldn't be able to get the cameras in, actually, would we? But that would be so funny.
But maybe even just to try to apply.
Try to apply online.
Or could do like a,
Well, what you've got to do is go on the CSCS website, official cscs.co.uk. Don't click on any Google ads.
Don't click on any of them top ads.
You'll know if it's the CSCS website. It's got the lock key in the top left-hand corner. It's the official guidance. It'll tell you what to do.
Yeah, because if you click on any of them other ads, they're fucking robbing bastards, and they'll take 50 quid, 100 quid, go direct to the CSCS and make sure you're on the CSCS link, not any of the others.
And I think for this episode, we'll put that link in the description.
We'll definitely put that link in there. We will. We'll free advertise for CSCS because you're non-for-profit, aren't you, CSCS?
Hey, maybe they could do. Maybe I could get my test for free.
That's a great shout.
If we'll put it on air. If I can get my test for free. And a pass, by the way, this time.
Oh, brilliant. Let's talk about the table. What have we got going on the table today, Dan? What you brought in for us today?
So we've got, tool-wise, we've got a grinder.
Is that not a website?
Grinder.
Sure, that's where I met you.
That's where Jacob.
That's where the three of us met.
Yeah, that's where we all met on Grindr. Yeah.
This is from well-known.
Say it, Danny. Wix's own Grinder.
Yeah.
So is that like the same as going to like Tesco own brander? Is
Basically, yeah. There's loads of companies will make that exact grinder. Loads.
In fact, this is probably the exact model is probably the same as somebody else who's made it. In fact, if you look on the codes,
it will be. It looks like a Makita one, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does
because of the colour scheme.
One. But it's grinder predominantly for like this is a stone cutting blade, diamond tip.
So not to be confused with the website grinder.
It's definitely
spelled different, isn't it?
This is I mean, it's a handheld tool, which I'm sure they use on Grindr. So I don't know. I've never been on that site.
Liar.
But it's a good girth round it.
Yeah. So what would you use that for? Would you use that if you are 6 months in?
Oh no. I wouldn't expect an apprentice personally to use this 6 months in.
Yeah.
Not quite straight away. So this is diamond tip. This is for stone.
Yeah.
Stone or masonry, should we say? But you can also get metal cutting blades for this.
Yeah.
Which are different.
So in any trade really, across all the trades, they'd probably use that, wouldn't they?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I once used this to cut through wood. Don't do that.
Yeah. I've seen loads of people use it to clean the tools.
Oh, big one. Yeah. Like brickies with trowels.
With trowels and stuff, and spades and stuff.
Always wear your mask.
Yeah.
And your
boring
glasses.
Right, so that's what you should do. Yeah. The truth of the matter is, though, the absolute truth of the matter is, they take that safety thing off there.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
They take this off so you can get
deeper in.
Yeah.
Basically.
Probably what they do.
Balls deep
as well. Yeah.
No, but that's probably what they do on Grindr, the other app as well. Yeah. Why are we giving the other app so much traction?
Well, there's lots of dating
cabin.
apps.
Everybody is welcome.
Everyone is welcome in the site cabin.
Yeah.
Everyone.
So, no, it's a good
black bin bags.
Yeah. it's a good tool to use.
What do you actually do? What do you do with it?
So do us an example, Dan.
Right.
Yeah, make the noise and everything.
So if you know, mask on, like
Turn it on, turn it on, turn it on.
get your mask on, like your site manager.
We can't turn it. We can't turn it on in the studio, unfortunately.
The producer will.
They'd shout at us, I think.
no idea.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then mask on.
There we
gloves
go.
on.
There we
Right.
go.
Normally, I'd say gloves as well.
You look like you're about to chop a body up.
What is quite common?
I think
is that
our
the
viewing makers will
the
go up when
glasses,
he's like that.
the glasses steam up.
Yeah, they do.
You
They
know,
do, don't they?
Quite a lot of guys do
Yeah.
that, and you think, well, that's fucking pointless.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the glasses steam up.
And off
so
you go.
You've cut you've got your stone marked out or your metal marked out.
You're ready to
whatever,
go.
You're ready to go. You see a lot of different ways. There is sometimes like a
handle there, yeah.
or even like there.
Yeah.
You can change the guard around, cut into it. This is actually 240.
Show us.
This is actually a 240 domestic one.
So that's not allowed on site, is it?
Not allowed on the site. No.
Do you know why it's not allowed on site, Jay? Why would that not be allowed to be used on site?
Go on.
So, because it's got 240 volts going through it, basically. So if you clip the wire, you'll get a shock.
Yeah.
And in like foreign countries, would that break the circuit on some of them?
I mean, most houses now would have a circuit breaker to break it. Yeah.
yeah.
But if you say you were working in an older type house, you'd perhaps get a shock. So it can only be 110, which is a different lead. It's like a thicker.
Why would you buy that? If you'd like a pure domestic, would you just
Yeah,
buy that and
that's John Smith working at home type. You know. Yeah. Oh, I mean, well, saying that, a lot of tradespeople would buy that.
Yeah, it's still
got to be
all right.
You just got to be a bit more careful with.
You know, it'll still last. It'll still do a good job. To be fair,
What's a decent price to pay for a good one?
Oh, you know what? They're cheap now.
I think
cheap.
something like that would probably be around 30 to 50.
Yeah,
quid.
I reckon 30.
A 110 one.
Yeah,
probably
go up
100
in
to
price depending on the
50,
name.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good things to have. You can great bit of kit to have in the tool. But no, definitely 6 months into your apprenticeship or new on site. No, don't think you should be.
I've seen people use them, sparks flying all over the place. They've not got a mask on, they've not got any goggles on, they've got the trainers on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going through like absolutely like massive thick pieces of concrete
Never
that
gonna
it would never cut
Never
through in
gonna
a million
happen.
years. Yeah. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get there eventually. You know what I mean?
Really like pressing it down. And what you also see is when the blade gets really
It gets red hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just think, just give up.
I mean, there's a lot of accidents, aren't there, that happen with them sort of tools.
There is.
You've
Some
got to be
serious accidents
careful.
gonna be happening.
You've got to know what you're doing. There's a thing like when you're using it. There's a thing called like a bite where it jumps, and it is a scary thing. It'll jump back. It'll snag in the wall or whatever and jump back towards you. And if it does that, I mean, ouch, basically, ouch.
Big time.
What
We've
about?
got a book from your brothers,
Yeah.
your brother and Amelia. You said it's a cowboy western.
Yeah, the book. So the book. Well, actually, so bit of a story behind the book.
I actually thought you were on about a dodgy builder from Morecambe when you said a cowboy western.
It is. It's a cowboy western sci-fi type thing. What's happened here is Andy was interviewed by us when we did some pilots for the podcast. About a year and a half ago now?
Yeah.
We interviewed Andy because Andy's been a long-term labourer basically in construction. Really great labourer, great labourer, and he's probably the only labourer I know that's actually written a book and published a book. It's on Amazon. We're going to put the link in for the book as well, aren't we? In the comments as well. So I think potentially might be inviting Andy in as well eventually to talk from his side of being a labourer on site. And
we've had a lot of comments from labourers, haven't we? And Andy is incredibly intelligent. I would say he could do anything he wanted to.
Absolutely, totally agree.
And he does his writing, he does his labouring, and he loves it, doesn't he?
Yeah,
both sides of it.
Yeah, he probably bring a really good positive light onto labourers and take away from some of the worst of comments that we've had on TikTok.
My personal conversation with Andy has said to me that labouring enables him to live the life he wants to live.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan. I didn't mean to.
No, it's fair. It's fair enough. It's fair enough.
That's what I've spoken to him about that, and it's brilliant because me personally, I'd love to enable a life I want to live by doing something that's maybe seen by society.
Full-time podcaster.
But a lot of people look down on labouring, and Andy uses it to push his life forward.
They do. Yeah, they do, unfortunately, yeah. People look down on labouring in construction. Construction trades all look down on each other because they all sort of slag each other off. Bricklayers don't like the bricklayers working next to them on that plot there. Yeah. Joiners don't like the joiners. Electricians don't like the electricians. We all stick together we try to.
We all hate site managers.
We all hate site managers. We don't hate site managers. We don't. We love site managers. they're going to start thinking that we've got a vendetta about
Not
them.
us, him.
Yeah, it's him. It's him, isn't it? Yeah, it definitely is him.
On. You know, when you said that about Andy, though, another thing he actually emailed me the other day, something really interesting, and something I wanted to say, going back to 6 months on site, is the effects building trade has on your body. So we're going to talk about mental effects it has, but physical effects it has on your body.
Wow. Yeah.
And like the change it can have. I always used to say about when I was younger, a lot of my friends, they'd start going to. I've come off the tools now, and I need to go to the gym. But I never used to. I didn't need to. I was fit as a fiddle.
Yeah, because you were so active.
I was
daily,
so active, like up and down, like moving around. Like it's incredible about the strain and the physical strain it has on your body. And working in weather conditions.
Yeah,
as well.
it will absolutely
batters you.
It does batter you. It does, and it does eventually. I won't say destroy, but it absolutely wears out certain joints. All plumbers have really bad knees. Don't they? Yeah. Basically, because they're always on the knees. That sounds a bit grinderish, so I don't know, but you know what I mean. They are, aren't they?
Electricians have sore asses, don't they?
Because they're always sat down.
Yeah.
No, that's
because have bad wrists.
Painters have bad wrists. Yeah.
Plasterers have bad arms and shoulders.
Yeah, they do.
Brickies. Yeah, brickies.
Yeah, there's so many implications of being in construction, but I don't want us to be negative. We're just being honest, aren't we? We're just being honest.
No. It's also brilliant. Like it's also
we're just an honest voice.
Yeah.
In fact, we've already had a journalist write an article about us.
We have.
So thanks. Was it to Toolkit? Is it Toolkit Online? They wrote an article and mentioned us in the article. So we really do appreciate.
It was very nice that actually what they said. Yeah.
It was really nice what they said, and we hope we are coming across that way as being an honest.
Yeah. Dave, we're probably the best podcast in the world.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. We probably are. Actually, we should mention the picture. Who's the picture, Jay?
I thought it was Fred Elliott at first, but I don't think.
I'll say Ashley. No, that wasn't a bad impression, I didn't think. Fred Elliott. Fred Elliott used to be on Coronation Street under Butchers, basically. This is not Fred Elliott. This is Fred Dibner.
Oh, yeah.
So Fred Dibner was a steeplejack who, if you don't know who he was, YouTube him, Google him, whatever. Absolutely fantastic character in construction. Went on to do brilliant documentaries all about different types of construction. Again, going back to me as a kid growing up.
Did you like that?
Do you like that? I can remember my dad watching Fred Dibner and thinking, I watched it and actually enjoying the programme myself. He was a specialist in taking down chimneys.
If that was on now, it'd be massive viewing figures. It'd be huge.
But it wouldn't be allowed to be filmed the way it was because of all the health and safety problems.
It's definitely something any one of the younger generation, should definitely find it on YouTube.
Oh, it's so fascinating to watch. Like
maybe we could put a link to that. Could we
possibly. He gets enough viewing figures. I don't see why we should help him.
Watch us first.
Well, he's dead anyway. So, I'm not being disrespectful to Fred or his estate.
I love him.
We love him. But he'd take down a chimney by knocking out half of the chimney, inserting wooden blocks to keep it propped up. Then he would set a fire to the wooden blocks, and they would burn through and fall. But he'd throw tyres onto the fire to increase the heat. Can you imagine someone today burning rubber tyres to in demolition? It'd be absolutely unheard of. But
I suppose he's like a cult figure then.
He's definitely a cult figure. Yeah. He's definitely a cult figure. And when you see his face, it's just somebody that brings back happy memories of maybe watching these programs. He was so knowledgeable as well. Yeah. So knowledgeable about construction.
How do you think someone like that would get on? And one of the things we watched in the Chelsea Real Madrid game the other day, the Bernabeu, the most spaceship. How would someone like him get on in the Bernabeu?
You mean rebuilding it?
Yeah, the most modern space age stadium.
So it's been Bernabeu's all been. Is it being rebuilt now at the moment, or is it about to undergo?
Yeah, they've been doing it during COVID, and it's check out the videos.
It wouldn't work for him because, I don't know. Maybe he could have but because it'd be so kind of old school, so to speak. People are really fond of saying oh, it was shit. Yeah, old school. Oh, you know, the way they did it now. The way they did it, there's nothing wrong with the way they did it. That was just it was a thing of the time.
Yeah.
You don't see buildings like the Sistine Chapel
Oh
going up
my
these
God.
days.
and the rest. There's 1,001 buildings now.
Yeah.
What do you get nowadays? Half it's shit.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Like I said on the last episode about precast, modular built. Let's just do it dead fast and get as much money as fast as possible.
People talk about design and build and all that. There's no real thought going to a lot of it.
They don't build archways anymore. No. They build pretend archways now.
Yeah.
And in the old days, people used to think about buildings and construction past their lifetime. They don't do that anymore.
Exactly. Don't do that. That is a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a really good point.
Because there's too many egos, there's too much cost, there's too much everything.
Yeah.
Too many site managers.
What's the longevity then of, say, you're 16, you're going into construction. What's your long-term plan?
I think...
Are you going to be in construction at 65 still?
I mean, people, there's a statistic, isn't there, that you have 3 or 4 major career changes in your life.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've changed career. I've changed career, but
you're still in the same industry.
Yeah. So I don't. It depends. I always think that you should. Main thing is for your mental health is enjoy it.
Yeah, it's
enjoy what you do.
But there is loads of progression routes, isn't there?
In construction, that's why it's brilliant. There's loads and loads of different routes you can go down.
You don't have to stay on that trade. You can become a supervisor. You can become a manager, an assessor, an owner of your own company.
You can set up your own company. You can. There's all sorts of different routes you can go down.
You might start making documentaries like Our Fred.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Podcast.
You might start doing a podcast and rival us. It won't be as good as ours, but who knows? Yeah, who knows? What about the cups? What have you got? What cup have you got there, Danny?
So Manchester Christmas markets. Bit of a giveaway.
Christmas markets.
Bit of a giveaway. So
I've gone to give them back.
No. Yeah. I think
No. I was going to say this, right? So this links to apprentice or 6 months in, Christmas do. 6 months in. Started in June. 6 months in, Christmas do.
Invites to your first Christmas do. Oh my God.
Go to the Christmas market.
It's gonna get messy.
Boom. Right, you have to pay £2.50 for the cup, then the drink.
Bastards.
So then I've got a bloody wall unit full of Manchester
Christmas markets.
Piss ups that I've been on.
I like it.
Where I've paid all this money for cups.
I like it. It's decent.
And
it goes well in the site cabin.
Yeah.
Nothing matches.
Nothing matches in the site.
Nothing matches.
Nothing.
I've got
yours is interesting.
yeah, I've got OCK.
OCK.
So
I don't know what it means, but there's a cockhold in it.
Jay, yours is
yeah, I've got OCK. Thank you, Sam, for lending me that cup, by the way. Sorry, Jay.
The brick special.
Jay's got the brick special there, hasn't he?
Coffee again.
Coffee again. We like a coffee on the Site Cabin podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so how can people get in touch with us? As always,
Dan?
You can't look at it.
Oh, well, this one. Loving this one.
Loving that one.
TikTok.
Yeah. Why aren't you in uniform?
Yeah. Oh. Those videos are great. Inquiries at the sitecabinpodcast.co.uk.
Well done.
Or TikTok.
Well done.
To win the hoodie, YouTube, subscribe and comment. Dan is going to pick your favourite comment.
Dan's going to pick a favourite comment before the next episode. Should we do that?
Yeah.
We'll probably announce it live on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Don't forget we're on Patreon. Support the podcast. We want to create more. We're currently looking at upscaling the production.
We would love to maybe. We're currently at once a month. Eventually, or very shortly, we would love to maybe upscale that to maybe 2 a month. We're not pleading or begging for money. We are open to sponsorship. We absolutely are open to sponsorship, and we absolutely would love people to join us on Patreon. £1 a month on Patreon. You get exclusive stuff with that, an extra episode as well. You'll get, and other bits and bats. Sign up £1 a month, and that to us, it's £1 to you, but to us, it's like it's just a huge thing. You know, if we can get maybe 100, 150 people paying £1 a month, that would really help us towards paying towards the pod.
And what that'll do is we'll get women in construction, we'll get mental health, we'll get everything, site managers, site supervisors, business owners.
Yeah, we'll be able to get quality guests on, won't we, as well? Yeah. Won't we?
We'll show to you how to run a business. We'll show how to do the finances. We'll do the lot.
Absolutely. I think that's basically it, guys, for this episode, isn't it? Anything else we want to add?
That's good.
Oh, we're all good. Right. Thanks very much for listening and watching. We'll see you on the next episode. Goodbye.